Yo,
Hey everyone, it's Arsenal Fan Circle. Thursday night. Thanks for joining us again. We have Gary to my right. Yeah, I'm getting good at this. Sam down there. I have a newbie here. Been
what
watching
up?
the show for a few weeks. We got Kirk. Welcome to the channel, Kirk.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. What we always do from the start, from the get-go, is anyone new on the show, they got to tell us their Arsenal story in a minute or two. How'd you get into Arsenal? What year was it? And tell us a
Um,
good story.
Basically, I mean, I've been watching since the '90s here in the U.S. I mean, we only got like in the '90s we would get a game on ESPN once in a while, and it always seemed to be Arsenal on. And I just seeing Thierry Henry, at first I was asking my buddy who was an Arsenal fan, who's this guy? Seeing him always scoring, just amazing on the ball, and he's like, oh, that's Thierry Henry, and I was like, wow, he's amazing. And we would always play FIFA together, and I started playing with the team, enjoying it, and then, like I said, it was always on ESPN. The one game we would get, it always seemed to be Arsenal, and I just fell in love with the team, and I started watching. I'd say it was about 96.
Yeah. Arsene Wenger is just starting out.
Yeah. So I started watching about then and fell in love with them ever since, man.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Kirk, do you have the stream running now on a device, or just turn down the volume a little bit, or your TV?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No problem. All right, so everybody, welcome to Arsenal Fan Circle again Thursday night, and this guy down here is celebrating a birthday, right, Sam? Your
Hey,
birthday
well, not
yesterday,
today,
right?
but yesterday, yeah. Had a big 4-0 yesterday, but Corona sort of took the big out of it, so it's just 4-0. That was it. So, but yeah, it is what it is,
Yeah. So I stopped counting at 39, so that I've never hit 40. So
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
A friend of mine said he said you don't go to 40. He said you just go 30 plus 10. So that's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. But thanks everyone for joining the podcast. Melina's here. Looking forward to the stream. What a great win for Arsenal today, but Pepe missed such a good chance. And all right, aren't you glad Laka scored a screamer? Yeah, I think most goalkeepers would have saved that one, Gary. Let's go into the Europa League. He hit that straight down the throat of the goalkeeper. I'm not going to give Lacazette too much credit for it.
Yeah, he had a good start. I'll give him that. Yeah, I mean, I just don't want to get teased, so I am being awfully cautious about what I saw today. Sam, on the other hand, I think thinks we got a star in our hands.
No, come on.
But you know what? We knew it's in there, so to see it is really good. It's just, are we going to see it again? Is this a tease? So
From Pepe, right?
Yeah. So I'm a little cautious on it. I don't know why he couldn't have taken those shots in other games. I think a lot of times. I think the game's a lot open for him, so that's one reason why. But I just, I expect him to be able to do those types of things in other games that we played. I mean, I don't think all the games that he hasn't scored in are due to the fact that the defenses were that good. I think he just was definitely having bad days, always lost it. So hopefully this will help spring him back. The reason why I'm cautious as well is because I feel like this might take away from somebody else that may have been getting an opportunity, and then with the confidence that Arteta has in his senior staff, it could take away from their opportunities, the youngsters. So that's why I'm cautious about it, because I feel like I feel like I've been waiting for a while to see other people get chances, and then to have him come in and do that today, and then hit the post as well. When's the last time we've seen him do that? He had almost 2 opportunities to score today, and haven't seen that in a very long time. I mean, I think it's probably the Liverpool game was the last time we saw him have 2 opportunities to score in a game, where it was like that, and he actually was able to finish one up. So, yeah, I'm cautious. I'm cautious.
Almost
but
like Gary's almost like he has some decent players around him. Nelson, Pepe, and Ainsley Maitland-Niles driving from midfield. It's giving them the chances, and they have some verve and tempo to their play as well.
yeah, and hopefully that's kind of gives at least Arteta an idea of how it will look if we do get the space that we need and we do show some positivity in our play, right? So I believe that we can do some of these things, not 100% of the time, but give me 30% of the time right now based on where we are, and I'll feel confident that things will we'll be able to get opportunities to score because we need it. I guess we'll get to it, but I am I'm happy with the game, but I guess here we go. I guess I'll just say it. I'm picky. All right. So
we've noticed that, Gary.
It's difficult to please this guy, isn't he?
I'm picky. I mean, we scored 4. There were a lot of opportunities out there, I believe. I think anybody could see that we did have opportunities where you would expect them to actually put the ball on frame. The goal that they scored looked no different than the goals that we saw in the 2 goals that we saw in the Wolves game. Got defenders all in the box.
Yeah.
We got, the goalie makes a stop. Well, he makes a stop, pushes it back into the danger area. I had in my notes, Marie made 2 stops because I didn't even think Kolasinac was even in the picture, to tell you the truth. So I'm not even. I had to go back and look at it again and again, and I'm like, wait a second, that's not Marie. He's the one that's walking around there. The shot goes by him, but Kolasinac, he made those 2 stops, which I don't think I've seen him do something like that before. Even it doesn't matter who it is; those was two decent attempts at goal. And he put a foot on it and then his body in front of the other one. But then after that, it was the same thing. You got a lot of players standing around watching the ball as it's flying in the air. Nobody attacking the ball or the man coming into the box. I think I blame, at least once the cross came through, I blame it on Runarsson and Ainsley Nile and Nelson as far as the players that had an opportunities to stop what was going to happen.
Yeah, Gary, I said that to my wife. Poor old Kolasinac. He blocks 2 balls on the line, and all the players get sucked into the 6-yard area. Where does the ball go to? One of their players, and they're able to finish it, put it away.
Yep.
But got to go to Sam next on Pepe. We got to have some humble pie a little bit, Sam, with Pepe. He's been playing a little bit through the center now, and I think the closer he gets to goal, the more effective he's going to be for the team.
He was playing a lot out. He was playing a lot out left as well, wasn't he? He was taking that left area while Nketiah was more in the middle. But Pepe had a decent game. He definitely looked a lot better yesterday than he has in many other games. He wasn't one of the best players for us, I think, on the day yesterday. But if you specifically want to talk about Pepe, I thought he did all right. I think he had a decent game, and he deserves. He deserves. Like I said, when he comes back from suspension, he deserves to play. Definitely, because Willian, I don't think he deserves to keep that first team spot. I'd like to see Pepe, Pepe given that. So you want to talk specifically about him? I thought he did quite well, but I would say at least a dozen other players played better than him, to be honest, yesterday. But I agree with Gary. We can't get too carried away. We're playing Rapid Vienna, who I was actually a bit disappointed. I didn't think they gave us much of a game yesterday when they were in a position where they needed to win if they wanted to advance in the competition. They had all the pressure on them to win, and they didn't really show up at all, which was a bit disappointing. Gave us a lot of space, and I agree. It's a bit flattering, when we play a team like that who are not very good, and they give us that space on the ball that we're not getting in the Premier League, and then things look very different. All of a sudden, players who aren't playing very well, all of a sudden they become world stars, right? I mean, it's very easy to get sucked into the what is happening on the day and amplifying that and making it feel like, wow, we're playing incredible. But you have to take the opposition and what they're doing into account. But that being said, I still think we saw a lot of good attacking movement yesterday, and I thought we saw some. In my opinion, we saw some players doing a lot better than what they've been doing in the Premier League. Even if they got that extra space, they were, there was a lot there looked a lot better yesterday. And I think it's to do with who was playing, the constellation of the team playing, especially in attacking play. We saw the likes of Maitland-Niles being able to move freely, go forward. It was only Elneny who was told to stay back, and that, for me, the freeing up Maitland-Niles made a difference, because him connecting with Lacazette, who was playing a 10 role yesterday.
Yeah,
that's exactly what we're missing, because Arteta's been keeping, who's been in Maitland-Niles' spot, has been Ceballos, or it's been maybe a Xhaka, or even an Elneny. He's been keeping those two players deep, not moving forwards, and that's where we've been lacking that whole connection in midfield. So letting Maitland-Niles actually go forward and only keeping Elneny back, that made a big difference to me. And Maitland-Niles played that role very well. I was surprised to see him start there in that position. He played very well.
Yeah, Kirk, a lot of things here in the comments. The Assemble said, let's see the performance on Sunday, lineup and team structure. I'm really hoping, we know what's going to happen probably, right? And then the other thing is, Lacazette would have had so much space in the Premier League. As I said, footballer Brownie's point, agree, acres of space in front of him. And we know this is a competition that's probably 2 levels down from the Premier League, but it's no denying that the younger players are excelling and showing a little bit more energy about them than the, let's say, senior players, Kirk.
Yes. Yeah. I'm nervous about the game this weekend, man. Really nervous.
I think we all are. I think all 4 of us here in the panel and everyone in the chat section is nervous about. Was that in all my time of following Arsenal, this is the most nervous I've been in the lead up to a North London derby.
Yes, I mean, one thing that I'm really concerned about is seeing Bellerin, the son running at Bellerin. I don't know what's going to happen there, man.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like you just said, this is probably one of the most nervous games I've been feeling coming up against Tottenham. Really concerned here.
Yeah. Gary, let's take that point there. Let's go. Son, he's had a great season so far. He's tearing it up. And if Bellerin is out there, that spells danger, right?
Yes.
Kirk's right, as Kirk was rightly highlighted.
Yes, that's the scary part. We haven't seen him consistently be able to make decent stops against players with any kind of pace. So I'm concerned that he'll just be doing what he usually does, is just running behind them as they're moving up the field, and then we have Gabriel has to help out, and then puts people out of position, and the next thing you know, they get better opportunities than us. So I'm hoping that we go with a more defensive stance, meaning that Bellerin sits, but we'll see. Bellerin going forward, fine, but coming back, I haven't seen anything that's proven to me that he's that part of the game has come back, and that's the scary part. And I think we've needed that. We needed somebody that's going to attack. But I mean, even today, Maitland-Niles didn't. He didn't look so good in the box on the goal. So I don't know if it's.
Gary, would you be tempted to put Ainsley Maitland-Niles in there at right back?
I would have if he had played in the last game, because I felt like he needs. I felt like we lull these guys to sleep by keeping them out of too many games. By the time they come in, they're starting all over again, getting used to playing again. Especially Maitland. I mean, he's been out for a very long time, I feel, as far as playing. I don't. When's the last time he played in the Premier League? I can't remember. I feel. I mean, may have played. Mm-hmm. I think it's been a while, right? I mean, I think the last time we saw him was when he was talking in an interview, and then after that, he kind of sat for a while. So I kind of feel like you got to give these players a little bit of time to ramp up. So I could see him sitting this one out, or at least not starting. But I feel like we need somebody with his presence on the defensive end to kind of help us out, especially with those with Son and if I right now I assume Harry's going to play no matter what. even if he comes in for half a game or something like that, I feel like this is the Leicester City game all over again. We're just getting teased with an injury or not being fully healthy. So until they don't put him on the team sheet, I assume he's going to play at some point in this game, if not start. So, I feel like with those two, we have to be on our toes, and our defense needs to be better, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what Arteta wants. So that should be our primary focus on the weekend, is to make sure our defense is solid, and then we can work on the other pieces as we move back up the field.
Gary, as we see Molina say, will we see any of the likes of Willa, Camille Smith-Rowe, and Nketiah Saka in the starting lineup in the North London derby?
Saka.
Yeah, I would say Saka. I mean, I think
Willock didn't play tonight. So
I think Willock got let down in the last game, and then the fact that he came out for the interview kind of like, I don't know, I just had a weird feeling that was another setup for me. I guess I'm a conspiracy theorist right now, but I kind of feel like he's not going to not even going to see him because he didn't play well, even though it had nothing. I don't think it all had to do with him. I mean, I could see him playing or come, but I don't know if they have confidence in him right now based on that last performance. And that was a team collapse more than just one player or a couple of players that are going to get pulled out of this game.
Very quickly, Gary, what formation do you think we should play on Sunday?
I've always said 3-4-3.
Yeah.
I thought we should have done that for the first 10 games until we could figure out, make sure we had the right players and then start making the changes, because that's kind of how we ended the season. I kind of felt like, unless I saw it in the first game, I didn't think we were going to switch it up this, as early as we did. So I know it's not, I know it's not positive, but right now I feel like our defense we have to lean on that more.
Yeah. All right, Sam, the birthday boy gets the tough questions around here. Steve Denham just said our youth players want to play for the club. The senior players play for the money. What did you see tonight, and what would you like to see in the North London derby? Would you like to see some of that transferred to the North London derby? Because Arteta pretty much said that in the press conference after the game. We need to play like that. We need to play like that on Sunday, but do we have the players that can play like that?
Well, what I was saying after the game yesterday, and a couple of the guys who I was on the show with, they were actually agreeing. I said, listen, this team today, they looked like they actually wanted to play a game of football, and they actually looked like they had some passion. They actually had some flair. The attacking move. There's a lot of good attacking movement in that play yesterday. I know, yes, we're only playing Rapid Vienna. Let's not get carried away, but there was still a lot of good attacking movement. Really, some of the play was really good, and I think, for me, I think you can go with with that type of team we had yesterday. The only thing is, you look at what Son is bringing, right? You have to counter that. That's the only problem. I mean, I would say I would actually go with the same team without Kolasinac. You bring in Tierney instead of Kolasinac. You bring in Gabriel. you bring in Gabriel instead of Mustafi, right? And really, for me, maybe at a pinch, maybe I'd bring in Aubameyang instead of Nketiah. The reason being that Aubameyang just looks completely mentally spent. He just looks like he's completely drained, like he doesn't want to play football right now. And, you're not going to really get much out of him, is what I'm thinking. He actually needs a rest. But being the talisman and the captain, that's not going to happen, right? So he's definitely going to be playing. So I would go with Lacazette. We played virtually a 4-2-3-1 yesterday. I'll virtually go with the same team, apart from, as I said, those substitutions, and probably Aubameyang being the captain is up top instead of Nketiah, but having Lacazette dropped in behind in that 10 role with Pepe out left and Reece Nielsen out right. And sorry, not Pepe, he's suspended, isn't he? So then you have to go with Saka out left and then Reece Nielsen out right. But just let them have more of that freedom in midfield. Like we saw, keep one back, El Neni back, and let the second guy there in midfield have more freedom. And then with Maitland-Niles, who was very good in midfield, central midfield yesterday in that role. Yeah. For me, I would have to bring him over to, if I was going to play a 4-2-3-1, I'd have to bring him over to a right back to be able to counter Son, because I think Maitland-Niles has the physical and the ability to counter Son if he stays on him. And Gabriel, if Kane's playing, Gabriel's going to have him in his pocket. I believe he can, because he's that strong and he's that good. So I think he can counter Kane. Then in midfield, the person you give that freedom in midfield. For me, I would like to see maybe Willock given that chance, or maybe even a Smith Rowe given that chance, because they've got that passion and that flair, and they can take that. They can take that role there that Maitland-Niles had yesterday. So I'd like to see that, because for me, I agree partly with the 3-4-3 and the sentiment of how it stabilises us. But for me, the 3-4-3 is good defensively, but not when we're attacking. That's where we're really struggling. Whereas I would like to see us just try and open up a bit more, being able to counter for their strengths by, like I said, by placing Maitland-Niles outright onto Son. But then being able to still open up the tap and have someone in midfield who's more has a freer role, not just keeping the two back like we've been seeing lately. For me, that's just not going to work. We have to open up with a 4-2-3-1. For me, is what I would like to see.
Yeah, I'm just thinking three at the back would counteract any shenanigans that Bellerin's going to get himself into. As
I don't want to see Bellerin. As I said, Bellerin shouldn't be playing. That's the thing. I don't want to see him.
Yeah.
Keep Maitland-Niles, play him out on the right to counter Son, and then, as I said, bring in some of these youngsters, like Smith Rowe or Willock in that role where Maitland-Niles was playing yesterday, that transitional role in midfield. Keep El Neni there, played very well in that deep role, just in front of defence, and keep Nelson in. Nelson should play. He played a very good game yesterday. And Saka comes in as another star kid, right? We always know we can get a game out of him if he wants it. He goes out left there instead of Pepe, and then Lacazette for me played a good game in the number 10 yesterday. But you might be able to change him for a youngster. But that's what I'd like to see. Basically, what we saw yesterday.
We'll be doing a pre-game podcast on Sunday, and you be in the comment section when we announce the lives, will you?
Probably not.
We can gauge your anger because we know what's going to happen. I think Bellerin.
Yes, I know we're going to go back to what we've been seeing. I know.
Yeah. Tony, how are you doing? You're using your second get out of bed card this season.
Yeah, my leg's still bothering me.
Yeah.
Well, good of you to join us.
Yeah, hi, Tony.
Hello,
All
Tony.
Right. Tony and I are going to have a little banter now for a few minutes. So, who's your man in the match in the game today, Tony?
I already told you.
You did.
Our number 9 that's playing number 10, our defensive midfielder or whatever, defensive striker, whatever you want to call him.
Kirk, in case you haven't realized, Tony's always trying to big up Lacazette, and I'm always trying to big up Pablo Mari. So, Pablo Mari scoring back on his return from injury has got to be noteworthy as well, right?
Yes, I agree on that. I was shocked, man. Good goal.
But in terms of man in the match, Tony, I would go for Pepe myself. You said Lacazette,
what?
right?
What?
Yeah, Pepe.
What?
Pepe.
Not Long John Silver.
I thought he played.
How can you pick him ahead? There's 3 other players who played better for me. Anyway, it's your choice.
I'm very biased. It's actually Tony's choice, so it's Lacazette as man in the match. Tony, Stan said he really liked what Ainsley Maitland-Niles did in midfield today. Wouldn't mind seeing some more of that, along with El Neni as well. He seems to make everybody look good in midfield, and then he does.
Yeah, he's looked good a couple of times. He's played there this season. I don't know why he hasn't played there more. I'd definitely be playing him there. I think he's got a future there.
Sure does. Okay, Kirk, this is a question we need to dive into in North London Derby.
Sure.
Can we start the Mourinho implosion on Sunday?
I think so. Anything could really happen,
Let's go around the tables on this thing. So dig into it a little bit for me, Kirk. What's going to happen?
I'm going to go, honestly, with my gut feeling. I'm going to go with the draw.
a draw.
I think we have a draw. I really do. A lot of people think we're going to get blown out. I'm nervous. I really am. But it's a derby, and anything can happen. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel like we're going to get a draw. I don't know. But as far as the back three goes, you guys think, I don't know if I would do that. I don't know if I would have a back three with their front.
We have a system, Kirk, that's been working 3-4-3. Gary's gone for, and I kind of agree with that 3-4-3. And Tony's been banging on about it for a while. It's just got into my head. It's sunk into my head.
I've beat it into your head.
We tried to go away from that system against Leicester, and we've only won one game against Man United in the league since.
I mean, yeah, I see your point. I see you guys' point in that. I don't know. With their front coming at us like that, I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah,
Sam, what do you think, Sam? We have a unique opportunity to start the implosion. You know the way Mourinho goes to all these clubs and it just decays from the inside out. We could start that decay on Sunday.
Let's hope so.
Well, yeah, possibly. If we win, we could maybe start them into some bad form. I don't know. They're looking pretty good at the moment, aren't they? Yeah, for me, a back three with the 3-4-3 formation. It is more solid defensively. It gives us a better, standing at the back there. It gives us more options to cover. But then when we get the ball, that's where we struggle, right? We've got to score goals as well. So we've got to strike a balance. We've got to be able to open up at the same time as try and defend. It's finding that balance, and I mean, with the players he's going to be going for, I think they do suit the 3-4-3 better than what we saw play. It's tonight for you guys, right? It's yesterday for me now, against Tottenham. With the players we know he's going to be playing, right? It's probably more suited to a 3-4-3. But you know what's going to happen? We're only going to get 2, maybe 3 good chances. And, if we don't score, win, that's it, right? I mean, we're not going to be getting many chances tomorrow. Mourinho doesn't let that happen. They're not going to let that happen. So, without opening up a bit more and maybe going a bit more attacking, it's not really, for me, I can only see a draw really at best.
Yeah, Gary, I'm going to ask you to maybe admit to some home truths here. Tottenham right now are one of those clubs that are doing quite well. So we kind of maybe do need to play 3-4-3 against them, and the fact that most of us would take a draw now, it's a bitter pill to swallow. But, like I said, first time in 34 years, I'm afraid of this fixture. And I've heard people say this is the most Arsenal thing to do. They could go and win on Sunday and probably lose to Burnley the following week.
Oh, yeah. That is well within our capability.
I mean, hopefully Spurs are having a bad day because that's the only way that's gonna happen, I think. I don't know. I've been kidding Sam about his meds all day, and I think he just showed that he either hasn't taken them or he's still off of them with his proposed lineup. I would like to see that. Arteta hasn't shown me he's that kind of a risk taker to do something like that. And even if you look at the last 2 games that we played, where you kind of look back and you go, you know what? If we had 3 at the back and we had 5 people coming back on defense. Maybe things would be a little different in those games. Yes, our chances go down. I think that's going to be a problem until we solidify our middle, and we're not going to do that, I don't believe, until Partey's back, no matter who we put in there right now, because he definitely, gives us a big boost in there. Other guys may be able to pick it up, but we haven't even had an opportunity for them to play. So, I mean, we just saw Ainsley today play in the middle. Will he be able to do repeat some of that on the weekend? I'm not sure if that's a good, the turnaround time's too short for him to be able to do that. So that's why, I mean, like I said, from the get-go, it was 4-3-4-3 because I believe Arteta's comfortable with that, and he knows what he's going to get out of it. He knows he's not going to get that many shots And I feel like if the team grows into it, those opportunities will get in there, and whoever's up top will get opportunities because It wasn't like we weren't getting opportunities when we were playing, and even in our
And
even in our worst games, we still got opportunities. We just weren't finishing. So I don't
And-
feel like just because we get a small number, it's an issue. I feel like we're just not finishing. I've always said, what are they doing in practice? Are they practicing shots? Because it doesn't seem like it when they get into a game, and that's why I was being picky about when you get a small number of opportunities, you got to take them, right? Of all the touches that you get, the smallest number you probably get is those in front of the goal with the opportunity to score. So you have to be ready to go, and the only way you're going to stop goals is if you're ready to go when that happens. When the ball gets in the box, you got to get it out of there. So I always feel like those opportunities are small, and it's how you handle yourself in those situations that shows whether or not good things or bad things are going to happen to you. So
Can I say
Gary,
one
yeah, go ahead, Kurt.
real quick? Speaking of opportunities, I really hope that we pull the trigger more. I've noticed, the game we just had with Lacazette's goal outside the box, I'd like to see them shoot the ball a little more instead of trying to get that perfect goal. You know what I mean? Where Arsene Wenger used to always do that pass, and then get a perfect goal. Just shoot the ball, man. I'm so tired of shooting the ball.
I used to say that a lot in past years. This year, a lot of times people taking those shots are players I don't want taking those shots.
I just don't get it. When I played, we were even right outside the box. We shot the ball. I mean, anything can happen, ricochet, whatever. I don't want to see us get so close and try to get a tap in. Just let it go.
Yeah, I remember even Tony's favorite player would score goals from midfield. 1 or 2 a season.
I'm just saying.
No, Kirk, you're right. You're right that we
Kirk, you're so right.
We need to open up our shooting range. I mean, like you said, we seem to only want to shoot from about 5 feet away from the goal. When you can shoot, anytime you get in the box, you should be looking up. And if 9 times out of 10, our players are looking down, looking out of the goal, looking back for the back pass for whatever reasons. I'm not sure. If you're in the box, the last thing you should be thinking about is getting that ball back out of there. That ball should be going towards the goal, to an open man, or make the goalie feel you. I mean, he needs to be able to feel his hand sting when you take a shot. We don't.
On a cold day.
A lot of our shots aren't even. They're like dribblers. I mean, at one point, the goalie's just going to catch the ball with one hand. I can see it now because that's how much power is being hit with those shots.
Do you guys remember the goal Wilshere scored against Norwich? Was it 2014?
Yes.
The fancy one.
Yeah, that amazing goal. Every time when we're in the box and we don't shoot and we try to get that perfect goal, I picture that. That's what we're going for every time. We're trying to get that perfect goal every time when they could have just just shot it and it would have went in instead of trying to set this guy up, set that guy up. You know what I'm trying to say here?
Exactly. Gary, I was going to come back to you. The North London derby we played after when we came out of lockdown. We played against Mourinho. We did have our chances. Our strikers, Lacazette scored a brilliant goal, a lot like tonight, from long range in that game. But we missed our opportunities early part of the second half. It's so important to not lose another game to Mourinho, with Arteta being not even a year into his managership. He's gotten a couple of wins against PEPE, a couple of wins against Klopp, but he's got to hang one on Mourinho now.
Yep. No, I mean, as you know, I want us to win every game. I feel like there's an opportunity to win every game that we play. This is another one. We're expecting us to come out and maybe surprise them. So if you can think that in this game, then you can think we can win every game. Well, we have to be perfect, of course. It's hard to do that. But I feel like, we can do that. I was just looking at Stan's statement there, players. I don't think Luis is going to play because, one, I hope his cut hasn't healed because I feel like he needs some time to rest. Because I feel that's the only reason why they're going to keep him out of the game is that he's bleeding from his head still. Because I don't think they looked at his eyes and saw what I thought I saw when I looked at his eyes. A man that was gone, done.
Yeah.
Right?
The protocol there, I guess the club will be smarting a little bit from the protocol. And, we do need to be more careful about concussion and those types of things.
Yeah, he did not look. He was 100% there, and it's okay to pull a player out when he's not, when he doesn't. I think that would have been the prudent thing to do. Willian.
Well, Willian didn't play today, which sort of peed me off a little bit. That means he's going to start on Sunday. You know that, right?
I'm concerned about that because I was like, my player of the game was Nelson because I felt like he gave us something today that we've Willian has shown us once in a while, and if they're playing in the same positions, if they're competing for the same spot, then I would like to see Nelson get opportunity. I know it's a North London derby, but I don't care. I feel like when they're ready, they're ready. It doesn't matter who they're playing because it's hopefully for the long term and not just for the one game, right? Players are coming in, doing what they need to do in practice, and then in Europa League, they should get the opportunities moving forward. You should be trending upwards. I hate this, like you're trending upwards, but you got to stop. There's a plateau. Why? No, you should be able to keep trending upwards. That's what I want. The other two on that list, I don't feel like those two will ever play together again. If we have a coach with who knows who saw what we saw in the last game, right? El Neni is healthy. He was healthy in the last game. He played today. Yeah, he looked okay, right? But I feel like I think he's more trustworthy in terms of they know what they're going to get. They don't feel like he's going to go stray off course or give them more things to worry about. So I expect to see El Neni.
El Neni will never give you a flashy game, but he always fashions his game to make the team be efficient.
I don't want him to be. He doesn't have to be flashy. He's fine the way he is. Yes. We know what we're going to get. You know what we're not going to get. Right? The things that we see from Xhaka, I don't think we're going to see from El Neni. Right? So why not? I'll take that. At this point, I'll take that.
I just don't want to see Xhaka on Sunday. I just don't want to see him on Sunday.
Neither is Tony. Tony, it was good to see the fans back in the stadium, right?
It's nice, a little bit extra energy.
Lovely coordinated patterns, up and down. There was no misplacement of the seating arrangements. That's what struck me. They were dotted perfectly in columns and rows.
It's kind of different seeing them all lined up like that.
But, definitely good to have the fans back. Tony, it's important to have the fans back. I think the team has sort of they've lost their accountability. And I think we've lost our way in the league because especially the senior players, they haven't had the impetus to move forward. And I think fans in the stadiums now will hold them accountable.
It shouldn't matter that much. 2,000 people in the stands shouldn't make or break what you're doing. You should be playing for a badge and busting your ass and winning, whether the stadium's full, empty, half full, 2,000 in there. It shouldn't really matter at all.
George Graham used to say it's a two-sided thing. The crowd gets the team going and the team gets the crowd going. So when you're missing one of those two, it's going to make for an atmosphere where your football can go dead pretty much. You know what I mean? What do you think, Kirk, about the fans in the stadium? It's a good step back to normality, right?
Yes, definitely. It was crazy seeing the way they had it like that, though. It was so weird. Looked like a game, like when you set up checkers, man, we definitely need to get fans back, man. And I think that having them back is what helped us, with the game today. I believe that, without the fans, who knows how that game would have turned out. I think it gave the players a lot of extra, something more to play for. Because lately, up until today, they just look like they're just so bored. They don't want to be there. I don't know. So getting fans back, I think, is huge.
Yeah, Sam, if for nothing else, to drown out Arteta's structure and rigidity.
Yesterday, I tell you what, yesterday he wasn't saying so much from the sidelines. I don't know whether someone's had a whisper in his ear or, maybe he's had some feedback from the players. I don't know, but yesterday he seemed to be a lot more quiet, a lot less vocal than he normally is. So I don't know. But anyway, it is great to see fans back. It really is, even though it's only 2,000. it's the support that the players like to see and feel. And you see so many of the players have been saying, it's not the same without the fans giving them that extra support. Because I do really think that it has an effect when you're getting, you're deep in a game, the last 5 minutes, you're 1-0 down, or you're 1-1, you're trying to get that extra goal, and you've got 60,000 fans behind you screaming you on, willing you on. I do think it gives them that extra, 5 or 10% to do the job, whereas if you're in an empty stadium, it's like, it is what it is, I really do think, those 60,000 when they're eventually back, it really does give you an extra lift, especially in those difficult situations.
Yeah. I think the reason why he doesn't need to shout at the kids is because they actually play with some tempo and some good.
Of course, that could be it as well. Of course, that could be part of it as well. It's just interesting to see, because yesterday I saw him standing there, being very quiet, just watching what was going on. Of course, a lot of it was down to us going up 1-0, 2-0 quite early, and he was happy with what he was seeing. Yes, and you don't really need to say much then. I get that, but it was just interesting to see, because normally he's barking 100 different things at once, and I just don't think players necessarily, enjoy that.
Yeah. Gary, tonight we saw some great combinations. We mentioned Nelson, Ainsley Maitland-Niles in midfield, and PEPE and Nketiah, and even Bellerin. Bellerin, we got to talk about Nketiah and Bellerin. Bellerin seems to be, if he's given the opportunity, he can probably exceed what Nketiah is doing right now. He looks a little bit more lively, has a little bit more about him.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't need the ball sitting on a tee from in the front of the goal, right? I feel like he's going to give us more opportunities from even further away. So, big, strong, young player. And, yeah, I mean, I think we all feel like Eddie's has shown us what his ceiling is. And either he needs to go out and prove it some more and come back, or he just isn't going to be the right fit for us. So I think we know the answer to that one. I would hate to see him go, just because he's gone through he's been through the whole academy and all of that. But for what we need, he's not going to give it to us right now. So, and Bellerin, I feel like will. I feel like he needs more opportunities. When I looked at the lineup, I was hoping to see a lot more younger faces out there. The Bellerins, the Emile Smith-Rowe, I was expecting to see out there. I feel like they deserve more than the minutes they're getting. Just because I feel like I feel like we need to figure out what we got there before we start making any big money moves. Which it sounds like they're going to make some moves in January, and I would like them to have a lot more answers, because right now they have a lot of questions. They don't know what they got, and they don't know who they can afford and who's going to be available. So it'd be nice to know what you got before you go out there and get somebody else and then find out you've got two of the same thing, right? So yeah. No, I like to see it. I mean, the game today was a good one. They went out there. For the first 20 minutes, I felt kind of like I want a little bit more enthusiasm from the players. I felt like they were kind of sleepwalking a little bit, and then they started to loosen up, get into the game, and then things opened up. So that's kind of how I saw the game. And when they started opening up, I think things got a little bit better for us in terms of opportunities. And and that's what we want to see. If we don't see that on Sunday, we could be, in trouble to start this game just like we were in the Villa game, right, where we got smiked in the mouth. And they will do that, right? They will do that if we let them. You know, I mean, Sam brings up a good point, or I think it was Sam, as far as Gabriel being able to be up top there, waiting for Son or whoever comes in to his domain, right? I feel like I'm happy that he's there, so I'm happy to see him come in, kind of stemming whatever threats we're going to have coming in. So,
yeah, Mourinho, Tony, Mourinho is likely to play a very, very tight game against us, and we have to kind of counter that with a similar, be tight. It's going to be a close game in the first half, and take our chances, because, as Sam rightly said, we're probably not going to get a lot of chances, Tony.
Yeah, I think we need to get Maitland-Niles in and play him as either left wing back or right wing back. I don't think it really matters. Get him in there so we can trade on the flanks. And it'd be nice to have somebody like Chambers in the middle where he can go up and play center defensive mid, and we just go on the attack.
It was Tony. It was good to see Chambers coming back from a long-term injury as well. Seems to me like injuries are clearing up at the club as well. So he's going to have a bigger squad to choose from.
It was nice to see Chambers and Murray both back.
Yeah, and the news that Martinelli's practicing is a welcome one. I mean, sounded like he wasn't going to play till January, but the fact that he's practicing now is a good sign.
Yeah, he's going to be playing. He's going to be playing under 23 games apparently from next week. So that's a good sign.
So if he stays injury free.
Yeah. I mean, I think that hopefully they ease him in because there's no rush right now if he's what we think he is, right? I mean, we don't need him to play right away. I think we can hold it. Yeah.
I was going to say, I hope they ease him in, man. I don't want to see him get re-injured, you know.
With Martinelli, you can't throw everything at the kid and hope that he's going to do it. He did start the Brazilian Revolution there, right, Tony? He was the first Brazilian player there. So David Luiz, Gabriel, and all of the others followed. Sam, the start of the Mourinho implosion, here's me reaching a little bit. So they've drew to Chelsea in their last game. They're going to lose to us on Sunday. And then they got to play Palace, Liverpool, Leicester, and Wolves. That's a tough run for Tottenham.
I mean, yeah, they're gonna get their tough fixtures coming up right now. So, of course, us, you know, I agree. There is this element always to a North London derby where, you know, form always goes out the window. It always does. Because for the teams traditionally, it's like a cup final. It's that, you know, the North London bragging rights. It's they know how much it means to the fans and the tradition and everything. You know, it's a game where they give a little bit extra and demand a little bit extra. And like I said, form always goes out the window. I mean, how many times have we played? I mean, us Arsenal fans, we all remember, right? I mean, how many times have we played shit Tottenham teams? You know, they're right down in the bottom half of the table, and we're like, we're going to win 3-0. We're going to go there and win 3-0, 4-0. And we end up drawing 1-1 in a really hard-fought game, right? In that end, like, well, what happened there? What the hell happened there? Well, it's a North London derby, right? So, of course, on the day, anything can happen. You know, it really can. But that side, you know, you have to look at, you know, what's going on. You have to look at the players, the form, etc. Yeah, and I would say we are, for once in a very long time, we are the underdogs. We are the underdogs going into this. But that could be to our advantage, right? We could step up and win. It would be great, like you say, Ray. It would be really great to get one over on Mourinho for once. Yeah. You know, that advantage, that hold he has over us. He's hardly lost against us, hardly ever. So I'd love to beat him as well on Sunday. And yes, and then that could, if they lose, that's going to be a big chink in their armor because I think they're so prepared to win. You know, I think it might dent their confidence, right? It could dent their confidence. Exactly. Then you're going into Crystal Palace, who could give you a game, and then you're going into big games. Liverpool could do them over. Wolves could definitely give them a good game. You know, so maybe we could set them going downhill. That would be great if that happened.
It would give us a lot of satisfaction for sure. Tony, I know you can only stay with us for a little while, so you're gonna bid farewell now.
Yep.
All right. Well, we do thank you for dropping in, and take care of yourself. Feel better. Get healed up.
Get well soon, man.
Yep.
Thanks.
Cheers,
Have
man.
a good one.
Take care.
Yep.
Thanks, Tony. It was good of Tony to drop by, for sure.
Yeah, good to see him.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, let's delve into that a little bit more, Kirk. Start, as Sam said, start sowing seeds of doubt in this Tottenham team. They've been going quite well. Any group of 10 games, you're going to get a mixture of easy and good and hard games. Not to understate what they've done, but they haven't played a lot of the bigger teams, and that's going to come at them now in the next 5 or 6 games.
Yeah, I agree. We need to stick it to them, man, and bring them down, man, and mess their whole season up, And they have a lot of hard teams to still play, man. They've had it pretty good so far. So people, I think, they're overhyping a little bit too much at Tottenham. I think they're going to fall off, honestly.
Yeah, Gary, I know myself. I come out of Sunday so pessimistic. We're going to lose next Sunday. Takes me 2 or 3 days, and by the time it's Thursday, I'm doing the podcast here. I've convinced myself, well, it could happen. This is the life of an Arsenal supporter, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it starts for me, anyways, with the lineup, and then I'll go from there. Because until then, I won't know who's gonna, have the opportunities to shine or not shine for us. So I guess I'm going to be patient with that one. I mean, I like everybody said, this is it's a big rivalry game. Anything can happen, especially this season. Anything's to happen. We've seen Fulham come out and get points where we never expected them to. So if that can happen, that's the bottom of the league. Us being a little higher up, it shouldn't be that big of a surprise, especially in the type of game it is. So like I said, I'm patient. Gonna sit back and hope for something good to happen. I felt like I know what Arteta's going to do, so I know how, I feel like I know what we're going to come out. And so I just feel like the guys need to finish their chances. Let's do that first. We need to keep our solid defensive structure that we've had. And then we need to finish our chances when they come, because they will come. They will come. I know there has been talk, people have said maybe Aubameyang needs to sit out. I don't know if this is the one to sit out.
Yeah.
Because he can show, because without Pepe, if Pepe was playing, then maybe Aubameyang could sit, but we don't have those two dynamic players. They're out, Aubameyang's out of form, but I feel like having him out there. I mean, he showed us something in the last game. I was listening to a report where they were talking about where he made the interception inside the box, and by the time he turned towards the goal, it was too late. And I just
Wolves game.
And I watched it a couple of times, and it's just like, wow, what was going on? What took him so long to figure out he's got to take a shot here and quickly, so I don't know, maybe
he intercepted the goalkeeper inside the box and took forever to turn around. By that time, the goalkeeper was back, the fence was back.
And so I feel like he'll play. When I did we did our review early in the season, I didn't have this one as a win for us. So I figured we would do, this would be one of those struggles that we have coming in. Especially the way
you remember me telling you we'd lose 3 more times. Well, it's actually been 4 more times.
See,
lost more than we won.
I think we would have taken the 3. Definitely would have taken the 3. But yeah, no, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I think we have a lot more players in our pool that Arteta can pick from. So hopefully he picks right, as far as I'm concerned. And if it's going to be defensive, then let's play defensive. If it's not going to be defensive, as far as the players we put out there, then we got to move forward. So it's got to be one or the other.
Here's what I'm thinking. The players that were withdrawn about 60 minutes. Nelson came off, so I'm quite hopeful that he will start on Sunday, because Arteta's got to be a little bit different. He can't be as predictable. Mourinho will study the heck out of him, and we want to be able to surprise him a little bit. Kirk, did you have a point?
Well, I was going to say, I think it's very odd. I can't even remember the last time Tottenham's went into the game cocky against us. We're usually the cocky ones. So I honestly think that's going to help us a lot. I'm really thinking that, we've always going cocky and something happens, recently. And it's the other way around this time. And I honestly think that's going to play into our hand. And hopefully, we get one out of this.
And usually, Sam, the team that scores first doesn't always end up winning the game. We scored
No.
against them last time. And Football with Brownie's
Yeah.
got it all laid out here for you.
I think Mourinho is going to study us very well, and he knows how we. There's roughly about two ways we play, right? I think he's studied and very well prepared for both. And listen, Mourinho, for all his shortcomings and his narcissistic and egotistical personalities and everything he has, the guy knows how to manage a football team. The guy knows how to. He's won major silverware at every club he's managed. He took Porto, a club very far out in the fringes of top European football, and he won the Champions League with them. Even at United, where he of course he ended up not being liked and everything. Even at United, he managed to finish second with a bad squad. And he won the UEFA Cup or the Europa League, wasn't it? So, I mean,
Europa
the guy,
League for United.
he managed to win a major trophy with them too. The guy knows how to win. That's his job. That's why Spurs have hired him instead of Pochettino, because I think basically at the end of the day, Daniel Levy has sat down and he said, you know what, Pochettino, they were down in, was it 16th or 14th? When they sacked him, and it was just the trajectory was just going down. It wasn't looking good. The players weren't happy. It was like they'd just lost their way. So I think there was a lot of reason there behind sacking Pochettino, and I think Levy's just gone. Okay, Mourinho's available. Mourinho knows how to win. We need to win. We're Spurs now. That's what they want to do. They want to win. So let's get a manager in who knows how to win. And that's what he's doing, right? He's building brick by brick there now. He's got some of the players in who have lifted their team and the way they play. And you've got to hand it to the guy. He knows what he's doing. And this is the thing, that Mourinho factor is tough. It really is tough. He knows what he's doing. He's a very good manager. And it's going to be a tough game. And like you say, yeah, I mean, if we're leading 1-0 at the 60th or even the 70th minute, anything can happen. They can still get goals against us. You never know with a North London derby. It can be 0-0. It can be 4-4. It can be 4-3. It can be 2-1. You never know. But normally there's goals at least. So yeah, there's that to look forward to.
Yeah. And I hope it's on our side, Gary. Hope we get them on our side.
No, definitely. I mean, I think I like to say we can want to start breaking some of these trends that we've had, right? So here's one for us to stop this trend of the whatever team we're playing this weekend feeling like they're doing really well. You need to bring them back down, back down to the Arsenal reality that it's not this year either, right? Not this year either. You're gonna have to try another one. So, I mean, if the players play like this is a North London derby, would be fine. If they play like this is a regular game and they come out like that, we'll be in trouble, right? So,
what's your sense that could be the case, Gary?
I like to feel like, based on the way we just played, I guess for me it would be today, that the team looked. I felt happy about the way we were playing. The team looked happy. I think they came off the field looking happy, and hopefully they like that feeling. And they come in tomorrow, and work out and get ready for the games, and come in on Sunday and are happy and ready to play again. Get all the instructions they can from Arteta and perform. That's what we want to see. So I feel like hopefully, we need some sort of trend to happen, and hopefully this is the one. I mean, after this, things go down a little bit as far as the competition, I feel. So this is one they need to come ready to play. Hopefully Arteta remembers this game from when he's played it, and whoever the youngsters are that come in should play. I know Gabriel will be ready to play. I feel like Tierney be ready to play. So,
Sam, what's your sense on? I've come up with this sort of like, we need every team in the Premier League has every weekend in every game has the possibility to win, but Arsenal seem to have the probability to lose. What's in our
Yeah.
mindset that we can't? You saw Fulham, right? I'm picking on you a little bit about Fulham because they're your second team, right?
For God's sake, no.
But you saw Fulham go out and turn the tables on Leicester City on Monday. Why can't
Yeah.
Arsenal do that on any given weekend, especially against Aston Villa, Leicester, Wolves?
Well, you just have to have it's a combination of things, right? But for the first things you need a system that works. You need players that are motivated to do something, right? And unfortunately for us, for a while now, that those two things have been missing. You know, we don't have a system that works with the players that are playing in it, and they're not motivated. You know, most of the players look they don't even want to be there, so you're not going to win games like that. I mean, football's very much a confidence-based game. You know, if you get a team winning, they're going to keep winning. They're going to have that confidence to keep on going and play better when they win games. And then when they're losing games, excuse me, when they're losing games and you can see, or they can see and feel that they're not playing well, it doesn't give them confidence, and it sort of continues that bad form. And that's where the manager has to step in and change things, change personnel, change the tactics, the strategy. That's his job, to try and turn that around, and that just hasn't been happening, right? I mean, we've been doing the same thing virtually again and again and again, and it hasn't been working. So, you know, that's the thing. You know, sometimes you just need to look, you know, long and hard at yourself and try and change things around, and that's what I hope now Arteta can do that and find something that works, because yeah, against Spurs, you know, like we say, we're not going to get many chances. We're going to have to take our chances. And the Premier League is a very unforgiving league. This season, it's looking really, really open, really, really tough competition throughout the whole league, top to bottom.
Yeah.
You know, like you're saying, the likes of Fulham now, all of a sudden, the last few games, they've started to perform a bit. They started terribly. You know, they looked absolutely awful, and now they're starting to play a bit, and they found a bit of confidence, and that confidence is making them play better, right? So, you know, so we'll have to see, but we'll turn it around eventually. We have to turn it around, and I hope that happens on Sunday. It'd be great to put in a performance and win. You know, that would lift us so much, you know, going into the next few games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like.
Sorry, Gary, I'll get to you in a sec. We are so far removed from the FA Cup right now, but the recent draw of Newcastle United at home harkens me back to this is a trophy we need to defend as well. And I know our priorities are going to be top four, but at 14th place, we can't really talk about that right now. December, you always challenge me, and I like that. What do you think Nelson can bring to the game on Sunday? He'll be pushed back, and defending isn't the strongest asset. Thoughts, please. He's our one player who can create something. He's got a lot of tempo, a lot of industry about him. And everybody's talking about Jack Grealish. He is the closest player to me in this squad that is similar to Jack Grealish. Am I comparing him apples to apples? No. But I think he's got the potential to do things that Grealish can do in time. We got to persevere with him. Gary, there was a stat about 35 crosses put in against Wolves. Nelson had a percentage of those crosses going in there. And I think if you keep feeding those crosses in, Aubameyang's going to start reading Nelson's game and start getting on the end of these things.
Yeah. I mean, in that game there was one of those crosses where hopefully he remembers it, and he doesn't give up on the cross just because he doesn't feel like the defender might get there.
The near post one, right?
Because the ball might get there, and like I think I told you, if he just sticks his foot out, we probably score there. So he can't give up, and I think that's what we're seeing, right? We're seeing him give 99% effort sometimes, and that 1% is the percent that we need to push that ball through to the back of the goal. So. The crosses seem kind of strange to me because we don't play in the air much. You know, I don't. Yeah. You know, our plays in the air. I think our we got a little stop here. Our plays in the air seem to only happen right when we're doing crosses to our back line right now. It seems Gabriel comes in, starts his season, he scores. Mari comes in, starts his season, he scores. Right, so we know at least we got that. But I feel like hopefully they see the tape and they realize if we're going to get those opportunities, they need to be ready for it. I mean, they should be practicing that type of stuff, right? So I tell you all the time, right? Can we show improvement from one game to the next? So if we're going to continue to do the
team is going to improve perfectly from one
little
game to the next.
Little bit. I don't want big changes. There's no way we're going to do big changes. I want little changes. We don't even see. We seem to, like you said, we seem to kind of switch. We can't maintain our base and then grow a little bit and get better in some other aspects. So that's on the coach, right? He's got to get the best out of his players and not have them lose focus, which is why you have these setbacks in other areas of the game. Meanwhile, you're trying to improve the others. So that's on the coaching and I think that's on the players and the players that we put out there. They can only do so much. We know what their limitations are. We see it every day. So you can't be asking for them to do certain things because they can't do it. They've shown it.
Stan, thanks for the comments. Thanks, Gary. Kirk, I got you back. I'm going to feed you a question here. Stan said to get anything out of this game, we need to target Serge Aurier. He's the weak point. Do you agree with that, Kirk?
Yeah, I do actually. I mean, I agree with that. That makes sense.
Sam, what's going to happen on Sunday?
What's going to happen on Sunday? I think it's going to be a tightly contested game. I think we're going to see. I don't think we're going to see a very open game with loads of chances. But I think it's going to be very tough. I mean, for us, Mourinho, his teams are tough. His tactics are tough. I'm not quite sure what their lineup is yet. I mean, if Kane is fit or not, because he does make a bit of a difference for them.
Smoke screen. Kane
most likely he's going to be playing.
Yeah.
But for me, I think Gabriel can do well against Kane. I'm worried about Son because he can come down our right-hand side. And if we play Bellerin, which we're most likely going to be doing, it's not going to be fun for him. Our headless chicken, Bellerin, he just, without the ball, the guy just has no clue what he's doing most of the time. So I'd rather see a Maitland-Niles in there marking, well, not closely marking, but at least keeping an eye on Son. I think he can do a better job, but that's not going to happen. He's got Bellerin there. He likes Bellerin. And that's what we're going to see. I think we're going to see Son target Bellerin, target our right-hand side, and we're going to see Son have the ball a lot and create a lot of trouble for us. But we have to combat that and see how it does. And then we're going to get a few chances, and we have to take one of them. Aubameyang is going to have to take one of them, or Lacazette's going to have to take one of them. And that's what has to happen if we're going to win the game. I can see a draw. I think a 1-1 draw is on the cards for me.
Gary?
Yeah.
Kirk's going with a 2-2.
Let's go with a 2-2. I feel like if we have a good game, a tie is definitely in there in our cards. 1-1 probably what I see more likely, because I feel like we're not going to be able to keep them out of the goal, but we might be able to surprise them. I just want our defensive structure to be good in this game.
Kirk, just give him hell back, will you? Something witty in the comments.
I'm a little nervous.
Stan, cut him a break, Stan. Come on.
Give me a break, man. Next time.
He's already given a 2-2 scoreline. I think here I am again, Gary. Come out of Sunday very, very despondent. Arsenal were pretty bad against Wolves. As Arteta said, we were slower. Makes you think, are the players behind them? Makes me think a little bit. Are the players backing him? Did he lose the dressing room? And we're going to find out in the North London Derby. It's a big game. We'll see what happens. Well, yeah, I've convinced myself we're going to win 2-1, and we're going to start making that crack a little bit bigger in the Mourinho empire.
Well, also you have to think about it. If today we felt like Arteta wasn't speaking much to the players, and they seemed to be a little bit more free in their movement on the field.
Yeah.
Maybe that's part of the problem is that he's continually talking to them. They can't really think about what they're doing on the field, and everything's a little bit behind, a little bit slow to react. So he should let them play. He should let them play. He should hope. He should feel like, you know what, we did all this prep. We're going to do prep tomorrow, prep on Saturday, and that's more than enough time for a player to be ready to play on Sunday in a big game, right? And then I
want to see an element of surprise. Put Nelson in there instead of Willian, something like that. That's going to make Mourinho have to account for that.
No, definitely some young legs out there. I feel like would be nice to see, because we feel like we've got a lot of old timers. Their legs don't seem to be able to allow them to move up and down the field and make turns. I mean, I don't want to see another 30-yard pass back to our defensive back from our midfield. A rocket being shot back there as opposed to, maybe going in the opposite direction. I feel like, it's got to be positive, right? It's got to be moving towards the goal when we got opportunities. So, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So happy birthday to Sam once again. Let's get off the Northland Derby. We'll preview that more on Sunday. And Kirk, you're doing great. And yes, Tony does give short answers, but if you come on again, Kirk, you can lengthen your answers. Tell Stan how many characters you're supposed to have in your answers. Stan will be only happy to tell you.
Yeah.
Olina says, hoping for a draw, but I'm afraid it will be a 3-0 loss. Bellerin seems very few. Bellerin has one good performance every few months. Hopefully this will be his one good game. Yeah. Bang on, Kirk. Okay, so we're going to play another game. We're going to play buy, sell, or undecided. No, keep, sell, or undecided for some of our squad. And I'm going to go through. When I talked to Gary about this, he was like, you want to do all 35 players? No, second thoughts, no, I don't want to do that, Gary. But, this is clever. Okay, let's not do the goalkeepers. We think we're okay on goalkeepers. Suarez, first player up. Just put this up. Sal.
Can you see this? Uh-oh.
Yeah. Cedric Suarez. Sal. Okay, it's unanimous.
Yeah.
Cedric Suarez.
The only problem was I don't see that ever happening.
I know, but it's just a fun game. Everyone, next one up, Hector Bellerin.
Can I do this twice? Can I give 2? Oh.
I'm on the fence.
Are you serious? Are you kidding me?
Just because of what Kirk said, because he has some good games and we don't have any better. The next one up, Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Okay, keep. Well, that's unanimous. Callum Chambers.
All right, I'm going to go with my first. Yep.
Footballer Brownie says sell them off. Rob Holding. Rob Holding. Decent right-sided. Saliba kind of clouds that issue, Gary. We don't know what's going to happen with Saliba. David Luiz. Deep. Yeah, and there's a lot of merit to that, Kirk. he has played well for us at times. He holds things together. Colonel Mustard. Kirk, do you know who Colonel Mustard is?
Clue? I don't know.
Mustafi.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Bye.
Kolasinac.
Oh.
I think we all know, right? Poor old Kolasinac. Now, he did save 2 shots on the line today, which should have saved him for another week, but no.
Well, he can be good because he can do a secondary business, self-defense, can't he? A secondary business, close protection, bodyguard, that type of thing.
Pablo Marie.
Pablo Marie. Yeah, give him a chance. Give him a chance.
I can't say bye to Cedric and Marie. I mean, only one of those 4-year contracts can we.
Yeah, we got to look back at that time and say, wasn't that a great January window?
I love Stan. I can't help laughing at Stan's interpretation of Kolasinac.
I know.
Colossal snatch.
I've seen that before.
Great.
Granit Xhaka.
Oh, come on. Is there
Any
something?
Xhaka lovers in here?
Is there something more? Is it something bigger than that? Yeah.
No, there's nothing more emphatic than that.
Biggest fraud in football is
Mohamed El Neni.
Oh yeah, that's easy. That.
Yep.
Joe Willock. There's a player there for me.
I guess.
I'm sorry, but yeah.
Gary. Question mark. Nelson. Reece Nelson. I'm backing him. He's our Grealish.
Grealish, eh? I'm going to be honest, guys, with Nelson.
Yeah.
Question mark.
Well, that's where I have Willock in that, we kind of flip-flopped on that. So
for me, Nelson, just 2 seconds on Nelson. Nelson, he does a lot of good things. It's just that final ball lets him down so much. That shot or the cross. He does so well up until that point, and then if he gets that final product in, he'll be a lot better.
Okay, Emil Smith Rowe, our new number 10.
He needs a chance. He needs a chance. Come on, look at what we did today.
Wasn't that brilliant? Wasn't that brilliant seeing him score today?
Fantastic. The kid comes off the bench. Last time he has an assist, plays really well. Today comes on, looks good and scores. I mean, the kid needs a chance. Give him a chance.
Yeah, we need to break out. You know what Chelsea did last season with all the young players? We need to do something similar. So,
Yeah.
We need to give them their chance.
It's like I've said before. I'd rather have a young, passionate player who is making a few mistakes and maybe not doing everything correct than having an old, past it, lethargic player who's just there for the money and you just see he's just going through the motions. Which one of those two is better? I'd rather have the youngster.
Mm-hmm. Stan said Nelson's got a touch of the Walcots. I think that is a little bit harsh. Stanley.
At the moment, I have to agree. As I say, he's got to improve that final ball,
Okay, Willian.
Wait, oh my God! Can we get rid of him quick enough?
I know. Yeah.
Is there an eject button like an ejector seat or something like that?
So.
Bye.
All right, let's go in. And of course, I didn't pick a lot of the players. There's some that are not going to be sold, like Tierney, Saka, Eddie Nketiah.
I've got to be honest here, lads. I know I've got to be honest. Really, cut our losses with him.
3 to 1.
Cut our losses with him, and I'll tell you why. I'll give you 2 good reasons. One is called Bellerin, And the other one is called Muller. That kid we've got behind him now. He's training with the first team, looking really good. We've got prospects, lads, and then Ketty is just not really. He's not really cutting it.
Stephen Denham's enjoying the podcast as always, and you're all brilliant. A lot of you are over there in the UK right now. It's 3:00 in the morning, so dedication is fantastic. Really, really appreciate it. Next name up is Lacazette. Lacazette.
Bye. Oh, you guys, what are you doing? Just because of today?
Yeah, probably a little bit. Yeah. Tony gave him the man of the man, Gary. Man of the match, Gary.
No, he was my man of the match.
I don't think Tony. No.
All right. I'm gonna go controversial and put Aubameyang in the firing line.
You know what? Do I even have him? When I did this list, I don't even think I had him on there.
For now, he's a keeper.
Yeah,
okay.
I got a
give him a chance.
There.
Give him a chance.
Yeah.
He'll come back, right?
Yeah.
Give him a chance.
Pepe, Nicola Pepe.
Yeah. So I got this for him. So, yep.
Norma wants us to talk about Arteta. Well, we'll do that at the end, okay? One last name on the list is Balogun.
Definitely key.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, we need to give him a chance. This kid deserves a chance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's his ceiling, Sam? What can his ceiling be?
It's hard to say right now, but I mean the kid's obviously talented. He's got a good nose for goal. For me, I'd like to give him a chance. Not in the Premier League, but now coming up, it may be. It's gonna be tough against Newcastle, right? The draw, but yeah, maybe. Well, definitely in our last Europa League game, when it doesn't really matter, we've already won the group. I would like to see Balogun start. I would like to see him start a game. What can he do for us for 60, 70, 80 minutes? Let's see. Yeah, I'd really like to give him a chance.
I was glad he came on. I was calling for him to come on about 10 minutes before he did come on. And, give him those 20 minutes at the end of games. You're winning 3-1. The team's playing well. Give him a chance to assimilate into the team, grab a goal here and there.
I'd like to see him start a game. I want to see him actually start a game. What does that look like? In the Europa League now, the next game is a perfect chance.
Gary?
Yeah, and I was going to say, because Stan's point there, I had on my list here players that are away on loan, like the McGuinness, Ballards, which I feel are players that we need. Right, we need to solidify, have a bigger depth on the back. Mavropanos, I don't know if how he's playing.
Mavropanos. How do we still have him?
Yeah, he's still on. He still can come back.
He's number 10 in line for the centre back position.
All right, let's.
But I guess one thing I just wanted to say, like the Guendouzi and Torreira. I assume Torreira's not coming back if we can help it. Will we get our money's worth? When we sell him, if they like him at Atletico,
right.
let it go.
Yeah. Let's do Guendouzi, Gary, first, and then we'll do Torreira. Guendouzi? I'm on the fence with him.
I'm a question mark because depending on, and I think that's a matter of Arteta, right? No. He needs to be able to have a talk with him and feel if he can have some confidence in him and trust in him. If not, then he's got to go because if the manager can't trust him, then that's not.
I've been down on Guendouzi. I want to ask Kirk then. I've been down on Guendouzi, but I want to see how he does in this loan spell and if he comes back stronger. Kirk, what do you said keep Guendouzi?
Yeah, I think we should get rid of Guendouzi. I've never been sold on him. I honestly think he's not been too really well.
Okay, so you said sell. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I said sell Guendouzi.
Sam, you want to keep Guendouzi? Why?
Yes, because he's got talk about ceiling. That kid's got a huge ceiling. I mean, that kid can do very well if we gave him a chance. I think it's good for his development right now to not be at Arsenal with everything that's gone on. I do think if he can maybe eat a bit of humble pie and sort of get back in the in the good side of Arteta and maybe come back after this loan, because apparently for Hertha Berlin he's doing really, really well. They really like him. He's playing really well in the Bundesliga, and we could have another El Neni here, right? I mean, El Neni came back. Look what we got from him. And Guendouzi, for me, he's always, his attitude problem. Completely agree. He needs to be in line. If you're not in line, you can't be at the club. I agree with all that. The disciplinary side of it is very important.
Yeah.
But as a player, he has a huge ceiling. He's really, really, for me, he's really, really good in that transitional role with getting the ball from defence, turning quickly, running 5, 10, 15 yards, and finding that key pass. For me, he's really good at that.
Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I feel like his partner in the midfield is kind of rubbed off on him in the wrong way, and that's why he kind of went a little bit down the dark path to me. Because I just remember watching the guy whose name starts with an X.
Was it?
The guy starts with an X, continually run over opponents and get yellow cards consistently, and then the next thing I know, I see Guendouzi doing the same thing, and I'm like, you know what? This is just that's not the right mentor to have on the field. I mean,
exactly.
Did we see it today or in the last game where Xhaka got the ball and then doesn't see anybody and has got his arm out, and I'm like, I've seen this before. I've seen that that look before with the hands out, and so the fact that he went away and he's playing well shows you that partly environment. Hopefully, it's something that he's going to work his way out of and come back and be a little bit more mature about how things are in this thing we call football. The business that the players are in, because he definitely, we can't let all of them go, right? Torreira, is going on. He's successful where he is.
For me, Guendouzi, we can let Ceballos when the summer comes. We can let Ceballos go back to Real Madrid, and we can keep Guendouzi, and Guendouzi is going to do that role that Ceballos is doing a lot better. Mark my words right here. That is what can happen if we keep him, because he is playing really well in that type of role at Hertha Berlin. He has that in him. He has the passion in him. He has the drive in him. I remember when before all the disciplinary issues with him, we saw the passion with him. When people were talking, he might be a captain. He might be captain material with all the passion he was showing. When he was playing for Emery, and there was all that captain question back then and everything. The kid has it in him. We just need to flatten out. He's still young. He can still mature. Flatten out the attitude, and if we can get the attitude in sync and in line, then we have a really good player there who can come in and take Ceballos' position now and do it 10 times better. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah. We still see with Guendouzi, a couple more to do, and then one more to do, and then we'll do the coach. Lucas Torreira has gone to Atletico Madrid. I want to keep that player.
I feel like
2 sells, 2 keeps. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think his reason for going is a little bit different than Guendouzi. I mean, I feel like I feel like his issues are a little bit different. I think Guendouzi will be happy here. I think Torreira won't be happy here. Even if he comes back and succeeds, I feel like they may have this whole thing has soured him, and he's more seasoned, so he knows what he wants a little bit more out of his football and his whatever team he's going to be on. And it may work out for us, right? We kind of took Partey. Now if we get the back Torreira and get a little bit of cash back, maybe that will soften things for the next time. So maybe.
Yeah. So Norma's going to be a bit harsh on Arteta. For me, I think he's going to learn eventually, Norma. It's not even been a year that he's doing this manager thing. And I think he's a good coach, but he's not good at man management personally. So I'm definitely keeping Arteta. I think he's going to get better as things go forward. Mikel Arteta, folks. Keep from Sam. Keep.
I guess
keep. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we can't blame this all on Arteta. I mean, we got to blame this on.
Yeah, there's several factors here.
There's the team, the players themselves aren't aren't worthy of, they wouldn't play any better for a better coach. They probably would play less, and they probably would down tools sooner. The management above him needs to give him more support, and I don't just mean money. I don't mean all that. I mean, I feel like he needs more support from above and below, and right next to him on the bench. So I feel like he's kind of playing with he's playing 5-card poker with
Playing with
3
it.
cards, I think. So
I thought it was an interesting choice from Norma for the replacement Pochettino. The interesting choice being that Arteta's actually won more than Pochettino.
Yeah, true. Kirk, since you're new to the channel, we want to get your opinion on how you see the last year under Arteta, and if we're going in the right direction, or what do you see? What do you want to see?
I want to see us start attacking more. At first I was sold on him. Now I'm starting to wonder. He's stepped our defense up. We've gotten a lot better, but I honestly think that he's focused too much on getting our defense better, and it's causing us not to have any attack.
You're structured.
Yeah.
You're rigid.
I guess I could say give him a chance to see how things go, but I don't know now. Like I said, I was sold on him in the beginning, but I think he's been at this time he's worse than Emery was, isn't he?
You can pull some stats. You can pull stats. I'm going to say you can pull stats anywhere to support your argument, right?
Yeah.
This is me defending him a little bit.
I like the guy. Just I don't know.
We just wanted him to see what we see, right?
Yeah. I just would like to see us attack more. Our defense has gotten a lot better, but it's just we have no attack. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's been at the expense of us going forward and getting goals, and Aubameyang looks lost on an island again.
Yeah. And he doesn't look happy.
No, he doesn't look happy.
He looks bored. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, we need to add a few players in there. If he was playing tonight with Nelson, Pepe, Lacazette, if he was playing where Nketiah was playing, how many goals would he have gotten tonight?
He might have got one of the chances there. Might have scored one, but yeah, I agree completely. He needs a rest. I mean, he can. I don't think he should start really on Sunday. I'd like to see him come on as an impact player in the second half. I think that would be better for him at this stage. But he looks like he's mentally drained. It's like he's struggling to find any motivation or confidence, and sometimes you just need to sit out a game or two and have a reset. Reset your system, reboot your computer, and get going again. Because he's just, the more we use him, the more we're draining him. Is the way I see it at the moment.
Yeah.
He's just not
like a battery.
He's not connected. Yeah.
All right, we're going to get into this new section. We've been doing this for a few weeks now. Kirk, have you picked out your upset from the group of games? If you haven't, have you picked out your upset game? So we pick a team that's going to upset another team in the Premier League here. And we'll go around the other 3 people here, myself included, if you haven't yet, and I'll give you a moment to maybe think about it. But we're going to preview each game. The first game, Gary, I'll go with you first. The first game of the weekend is Burnley versus Everton. How do you see that game going? Everton's kind of slowed down. They went out. They got a great start to the season, but they've slowed up recently.
I feel like they're still gonna. I feel like they're gonna win this game. So I don't think it. I mean, I don't think it will be any challenge or anything like that. So I feel like they're gonna win this 2-1. So
Everton's gonna win.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. And Burnley are that team are going to come up with a shock result, Sam, somewhere along the line.
They could definitely do it against Everton because Everton are in poor form. They're not doing very well. They're struggling at the moment. But Burnley could maybe get something out of their game. I'm not going to choose that as the game for my upset, but I think maybe Everton could come back and win that one. But that game could go both ways, in my opinion.
Yeah. Kirk, so we're just going to preview this Burnley-Everton game.
Okay.
How do you see that going?
Honestly, see it ending in a draw. To be honest with you, I think Burnley can get something out of it, like Sam was saying.
Yeah.
I don't see him winning, but I definitely can see a draw happening there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think it's away from home. It's at Burnley, so yeah, I'm gonna go with a draw as well in that game. Gary, the next one up is Manchester City versus Fulham. Now, last week I picked Burnley to upset Manchester City, and it went terribly wrong. 5-0 defeat. Manchester City won 5-0. Will it do something similar against Fulham, who upset Leicester?
I don't think so. I mean, I think you guys all went against me on the last one, but I feel like I think Fulham is last week was that might be a surprise. That was a surprise last week what they were able to do. I don't think they're going to get that. I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with Manchester City. So yeah, I feel like Manchester City will run away with this one with at least by 2 goals. So yeah.
Sam, Manchester City struggled in the early part of the season. They don't have a decent striker. I keep harping on about Gabriel Jesus, but they've got Mahrez, they've got De Bruyne, they've got
Mahrez has really stepped up. Yeah, Mahrez has been great. Yeah. No, they're a strong team. I mean, City have many weapons. They can score from several. Even Foden is showing he can come in from midfield and be a threat as well. And get there's Mahrez on the wing, De Bruyne, who's always, even though he hasn't been quite at that extreme high level he normally is, but he's still an amazing player. I mean they've just got too many weapons for Fulham. I think, especially being at home. I just can't see Fulham getting anything out of that one.
Yeah, I agree with you. Manchester City will probably win that game by Fulham. They really surprised us on Monday. Kirk, what do you think?
I think City's definitely gonna win that game for sure.
Yeah,
playing really chance in my opinion at all.
Playing at home as well. Stan already does a pretty good Sir Chips Keswick, so he's going to do the Sean Dyke for us next time he's on. We'll probably see if we fit you in sometime soon, Stan. Gary, West Ham versus Man United. Man United.
The last 2 times that I've been wanting to be happy about the Man United game, it hasn't happened. So I'm gonna go. I think it's gonna happen this time around. I think West Ham will bring some of that fire back that they got in the last time they surprised us on a weekend, and maybe they do it again this weekend. I know. I mean, they're sitting 5th in the league, so they're not. They're doing all right. So I'm gonna go with West Ham in this one. They're at home. I mean, I feel like this will be like a 3-1 game.
Yeah.
I think
this is not your shock result, right?
No, this is not. I think if I said that, you guys would go, no, it's not even that big of a shock because we can see Man U losing to anybody 3-1, but we can also know that they can come back and tie it up 3-3 and get something out of the game, which is what they've been doing. So I feel like this one they'll lose this one.
You feel like Man United will lose to West Ham? West Ham are going so well. I would actually. They're 5th place. It should be the other way around. No disrespect to Charlie over there on Hammer's chat, but we're supposed to be 5th and you're supposed to be 14th, Charlie. I think it happens really well, Sam. If you don't care, if you give up on your team, you think they're crap, they'll surprise you.
Yeah, of course. It's it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? So teams go up and down, form goes up and down, and all of a sudden things can be surprising. You never know. All of a sudden a player can hit form. And football's like that, isn't it? Sometimes luck sort of goes your way, lady luck. Goes your way. Sometimes she doesn't. It can be you can hit the inside of a post or the outside of a post. It's things like that happen, right? And that can be the difference between a win and a loss.
Fine margins, yeah. What do you think for this game?
I think West Ham definitely have a good chance. I agree with Gary. Yeah. I think West Ham are proving to be a very different team than what everyone thought they'd be this season. They're playing well together. You got the likes of Bowen and Susek, and those guys are playing well together. They're finding they're doing well. So I could definitely see with Man United's form, up and down. Now they've just played the Champions League, right? I mean they could lose that one. They really could.
Yeah, Sam, I saw some mention about something that Fred did was very similar to what Pepe did. I didn't actually see the situation.
It's basically the same thing. It's basically the same thing, but you got nothing. There was no red card.
Yeah. Kirk, West Ham versus United.
I honestly see West Ham possibly upset United if you want to even consider that an upset with United's performance.
That's why Gary didn't even go there. I would have chastised him for that. You know what I mean? He tried something similar last week.
I was thinking about that being an upset. I thought, no, United this year, is that really an upset? But yeah, I see West Ham possibly winning this maybe 2-1.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I can see that.
They're playing at home, aren't they?
They're playing it up at their stadium, West Ham.
Yeah, West Ham. Yeah. London Stadium.
Steve Denham, you're right. We're a great group of everyone adds their own piece of madness, and that's exactly right. But may the fourth be with you. Okay. I think West Ham will get a draw at least from Man United. Gary, Chelsea versus Leeds.
I had this one as a tie. So I don't know. That's ambitious.
You gotta let me know when you hit your upsets, right?
Yeah, I'll let you know. But this is. I don't think it'll be an upset in this one.
Okay.
I feel like Chelsea just has too much. It is what they had a player go. A player. I'm not going to say his name because we're not allowed to, right? I don't think we can talk about him anymore. But just had 4 goals. So, And I feel like Leeds comes in and they are not going to. Their range of play isn't going to be too big, so they're not going to be too bad or too good on certain days. So I feel like that'll keep the game kind of tight, and they'll be able to maybe control it. So that's why I'm going with a 2-2 tie.
All right, Sam.
This excuse me. It's between this game and the other game I'm not mentioning at the moment. That was between my upsets, because for me, Bielsa going into a game like this, Leeds could get something out of this, because Bielsa he's so good tactically and getting his players motivated, and Leeds on their day they play well and they score goals, so it could well happen at Stamford Bridge that Leeds actually give them a really hard game. But that being said, Chelsea, with their players, the strength in their squad, they're frightening at the moment. So, Gary, it could be. I reckon it could be a draw this game, but most likely, I just think Chelsea are going to be a bit too strong for them. I think Chelsea are going to win.
Yeah, I agree with Sam. I think Chelsea will win. Bielsa's team is well coached, but they do leave themselves open at the back, and it's just a pity that we had Pepe sent off the other week. We could have possibly squeaked something out. Kirk, Chelsea versus Leeds.
I was debating this in my upset pick, but honestly, I think Chelsea.
I'm marking you down. This is your upset, right?
No, I don't mark me down for this one. But I do think Leeds could possibly get a win. But I'm gonna say Chelsea probably will scrape the win here. I'm gonna say 2-1.
2-1. If Leeds do beat Chelsea, Ray Anderson says that would be an upset. It would be. Stephen 2-1, and he wants West Ham to win, but I think it'll be 1-2-1. And then 2-1. Gary, we're all leaving our upsets toward the end here. West Brom versus Palace, Gary.
Yeah.
Early game Sunday for me.
Yeah. I feel like Crystal Palace after their last game will come out a little bit better this week. I think last week they didn't do so well, if I remember. didn't come out so well. So I think like they're gonna turn that trend. So I feel like they're gonna be able to get something out of this game. So I think they'll win this one. I can see like a 1-0 win for Crystal Palace. They've been struggling the last couple of games, so I think they need a little pick me up.
And didn't West Brom hang on 1-0 for that? We had a draw in the end for the last game. I remember.
Yeah, well, I think they actually won the last one.
They won the last one 1-0.
Yeah.
Sam, what do you got? I know it's getting late there for you, Sam.
For West Brom Crystal Palace, is that what we're still on?
Yes.
Oh, what a game! Definitely one I'm not going to be watching. I'd rather watch grass grow, but yeah, I mean, it's one of those games. West Brom are picking up a little bit, aren't they? Crystal Palace can show it. It's one of those games I would never bet on. Just no way I'd bet on because you just know. There's just no way of telling how this game's going to go. So I'm just going to say a draw, just to say something. They're both for the teams. Just never know with those teams, you know.
I agree with what Sam said. I think it's going to be a draw. You never know with them. Flip a coin, put one team on one side, one on the other, whatever it lands on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Palace are a very good away team. I don't know if Zaha's still out for them, but I do think that Palace will probably squeak that game. And the next one up, Ray Anderson says Sheffield United can't win a match this season, Gary. Sheffield United at home to Leicester. Leicester just lost to Fulham, so could they be sliding?
Just looking at it, they got spanked by Liverpool. Then they've lost to Fulham. So and then they need a little pick me up. So I feel like they might get that pick me up this weekend. So once again, similar to Crystal Palace, I feel like they're going to get me a pick me up with the game. So I can see Leicester City getting this one and getting a couple of win this one 3-0. That's what I feel like. Yeah.
I tried to tempt you into taking that as your upset there. Sheffield United have now won in 10 games, 1 draw and 9 losses. Do they win this time?
For me, this is going to be my upset. This is going to be my. I think Sheffield United will get points in this game against Leicester. Yeah, because I just think Sheffield United they're due a performance now. The law of averages. They have had some decent performances without winning. And Leicester, Leicester all of a sudden they can have a wobble. They can have a game where they're not playing great. And I was just looking at all the fixtures and I was thinking that is probably the one I want most as the upset. So yeah, I'm going for Sheffield United grabbing at least a point against Leicester in that one.
I'm smiling, Sam, because usually I take the early fixtures and fall on my face. So I'm going to wait in the long grass for you to fall first,
Sure. Yeah.
As the first panelist has taken their upset, Sam wants Sheffield United to beat Leicester. Or draw would be an upset as well. Kirk, what do you think?
Can we pick 2 upset games?
No, you can only pick one.
Okay.
Those are the rules that I made. I made the rules, or I make the rules for here.
I think Sheffield can get a point out of this as well. I'm going to go with the draw, but that's not my upset pick.
Okay. Very wise. Let's have him stay out there in the island all by himself.
Yeah, I'll be on the island. Here I am. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I want to give a shout out to Alonso. He's suffering with a severe sort of headache and migraine right now.
Okay, yeah. Big up, Alonso. I hope you get well soon.
Alonso, hope you feel better. Yep.
Would have joined us otherwise. Sheffield United, Leicester. I'm very tempted. I was very tempted, Sam, but I do think Leicester gets back on winning ways. If you breathe on them, they're very good at falling down and getting penalties. They're probably the second best team at getting penalties. They're the best team at engineering them themselves. The referees just give penalties to the other team, irrespective. Leicester to win that one. All right, we come to the big one now, Gary. The North London Derby. Tottenham versus Arsenal. Is this your upset?
This is not my upset. I mean, I actually thought this one wasn't even allowed to be part of our upset of the week. But,
People will be like, why don't we pick this game? Why are we picking this game for our upset?
Yeah. I mean, I think if we have a really good game, we'll be able to get a point out of it. So I'm going to go with a point for for the Arsenal, and I like to see 2 goals from us and a tie. So yeah, I think we need it.
The old 2-2.
Yeah. I mean, crazy things happen, and why not for us, and in a good way, right?
Yeah.
So far, it's been crazy things happening to us in a bad way. We need to change that trend, like
Change that
anything else.
paradigm.
So yeah.
Sam, the North London derby.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a draw at the moment. That's the way I can see it. 1-1, maybe a 2-2. I don't know. I don't think we'll score 2 goals, to be honest. But yeah, no 1-1 or a 0-0 possibly. I think there'll be goals, so I'm going for a 1-1 draw.
And Kirk?
This is going to be my upset pick. I think that we're going to get something out of this game. But then,
Kirk, you're going to get a lot of respect from the people in the chats here. This is your upset game. Good on you.
We're not playing so good this year, and them being the cocky ones, I think that we're going to go into this game, and being it's a derby, we're going to get something out of it.
All right.
I think they're going to pay for being so cocky this time.
I'd love to see it.
They always say we're the ones that pay, being cocky and rub it in our face. Hopefully, Christmas comes early, and they pay for being cocky.
Christmas comes early for Gooners worldwide. We get a win in the North London derby. Absolutely. And Ray Anderson's reminded me of 5-2 wins in the past, which were pretty good. I don't know if our team is of the 5-2 ilk as they were in previous season. What was your favorite North London derby, Kurt?
As far as what we won by score?
Yeah, most memorable North London derby for you. I mean, Unai Emery did give us a good one in recent years.
I mean, I like the 5-2.
Yeah, we all like a bit of 5-2, right, Gary?
Yeah, I mean, I like those. Is it the one where Dyer started talking a little too soon, and we shut them up pretty much for their second half of the game or something like that, right? So I think that one was I like that one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, December. It has been quite a while since we won by 5 clear goals. But yeah, I'm getting confident there. We'll see what happens. It's not my upset game. I think there's 3 of us still to pick our upset game, right? All right, Gary. Liverpool versus Wolves, and I swear I didn't do this intentionally for me to be the last one to go to the.
Yeah, no. I feel like the Wolves. I feel like once again we play a team the next week. They kind of struggle a little bit, so I feel like that's going to happen again. I think Liverpool's going to catch the Wolves. Because I think Liverpool is struggling right there. They got players in and out of the squad. I think Trent might come back if I recall, so maybe they get a little bump there. I think Wolves were losing their striker might hurt them a little bit, and depending on how Liverpool comes, I was listening to some of the pods, and it sounds like they're not. Mane still might not, they're thinking he may not even start, but he'll come in. So if that happens, then I think they'll have a little bit more gas in the tank if they decide if they keep him out. And they've been a solid team, so I could see Liverpool winning that one. Definitely feel like it'll be maybe 1-0, but it won't feel like it. It'll feel like it. Wolves won't have much going on, but that's what I see.
Yeah. We generally hand out gifts at Christmas time, and Kirk wants us to pick one up on Sunday from Tottenham. It would be lovely to start opening up that crack. Put that spike in that crack, Sam, and start opening that crack up for Mourinho. We want more press conferences with Mourinho losing the plot, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's fun. He's a spectacle, isn't he, Mourinho? He's a spectacle, but at the end of the day, he knows what he's doing. So, most of the time.
Respect. Liverpool's Wolves, Sam.
Liverpool Wolves, yeah. Liverpool are struggling, aren't they? You know, they're up and down. They've got their injuries. They're not quite as effective as they used to be. But this Jota that's come in, he's really, really improved them a lot the last few games. So with Jota in their team, I think Jota's going to give them that extra edge, and I think they'll win. They'll win against Wolves.
Liverpool win against Wolves. Okay.
Yeah.
I think they've picked things up a little bit. They had that blip. I don't think they've drawn a game. Well, they did draw the game against Brighton. That should have been my pick last weekend. I'm still raging about that. Kirk, what do you think? Liverpool, Wolves?
Liverpool's going to win this game for sure. Yeah. Wolves is going to be missing Jimenez, and that's going to be a big blow for them.
Yeah, and we do hope, of course, Jimenez gets better. A very nasty clash with David Luiz. Okay, let's go to the last one. Looks like Gary and me are picked the same fixture.
Sorry, yeah, but yeah. So I mean, I feel like this will be my upset pick. I feel like Brighton is coming in, to a good game where Southampton is, they kind of were up there for a little bit, but they come back down to earth a little bit, and they may catch him on a good day and be able to get at least a point out of it. So I feel like it's, I think Brighton will be able to 1-1. That's how I feel this game will go. So they get some points out of it when they probably shouldn't get anything out of a game like this based on, the form. But I feel like Southampton's been, I feel like they've been struggling. They've had a loss and a tie in the last two. But, I'm going to go. This will be my upset pick, Brighton.
Yeah, and I'll leave you with a little limerick there to read there at the bottom while I explain. Brighton played very, very well against Liverpool, and I thought they were unlucky not to actually beat Liverpool. And, I think I said to Dave at LFC's chats, could be a tough game for you today, and that's what came to pass. They probably should have beaten them. They haven't won. Brighton have not won at home since they actually beat Arsenal. And we all know what happened there. So I think they're due to get a win. And Southampton are just going so well. I think they're going to have a blip. And Gary, you chose correctly. You chose well.
Well, now that you say that, I do remember. Yeah, if you think about back to that game, they did. It felt like they did have opportunities to probably get that second goal in there, or if I recall. So, but yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna. Those are two teams kind of going in slightly different directions. So,
yeah.
Look at the sound there. He's getting tired, so we're gonna wrap this up soon.
Yeah, it's getting 4:30 and I need to get to bed soon.
Yeah, all the way from Norway. I'll give you Sam. Thanks, Sam, for hanging in there.
It's been great fun. It's been really good.
Brighton, Southampton.
It's that South Coast derby, isn't it? I'm going to go Southampton because their manager is very good and they look pretty good in their last game. I just think Southampton could edge that one, to be honest.
Right. And Kirk, we'll give you almost the last word here.
I think Brighton will win. I think they'll win, but they do need to be careful about giving away free kicks to James Ward-Prowse the way he's been on fire.
Yeah, good shot. Yeah.
Yeah, that Ward-Prowse, he's got a good foot on him, hasn't he?
I can see Arsenal man. I really would. He's amazing with them free kicks too.
Yeah, he really is.
He was going to go to United a few seasons ago. It's amazing, though. None of the bigger teams actually come in for him.
I was talking that last week. He's a sleeper player. I think I'm shocked he hasn't been picked up by him.
Yeah, he's one of those unfashionable players that people don't think can do a job for a bigger club, but he can, Yeah. All right. Final thoughts there, Kirk. I'll continue with you and go back around. Final thoughts on the podcast, on North London Derby, and thanks for joining us today. It was fun. And next time, next time you're on, make your responses just a little bit longer.
Yes,
Sam
yes.
never did reply about the amount of characters he needed.
Right. I apologize about that.
No
Great
problem. Just
Great
kidding.
podcast. What was the last thing you had asked about? Giving you my answer to, or let you know about what podcast and what else?
Oh, just the North London Derby. Any final point you want to make? Your
Um,
last word.
like I think though, I think that we definitely need to play Maitland-Niles at right back. I hope that we can slow Sun down. I'm really, like I said earlier, concerned about that. But I think that we can get something out of this game for sure.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us tonight, Kirk. Really appreciate you.
Thank you for having me on. A little nervous. I apologize.
It's all good.
We're good. We're really good.
We all had to start somewhere. We didn't come out of the birth canal doing this. Sam, what do you think? Final words, Sam?
Yeah, I just want to say to Kirk, listen, mate, you've had a good start. Don't worry about that. So there's nothing to worry about today, mate. Been good. So I mean, it's sink or swim time, isn't it? It's just sink or swim time. We gotta show. We gotta put our big boy pants on, and we gotta show who's boss in North London. And if we end up losing this game, it's going to be terrible because it's not just the whole North London thing. But listen, I mean, 11 games and 6 losses. I mean, that is just going to be very, very, very hard to grasp, and it's going to set us on completely the wrong footing. So we got to step up. We got to get something on this game on Sunday. I really hope we do. Give our best and just go from there. Just give it all. Thanks again for having me on. It's been fun, and let's just hope we get the 3 points on Sunday.
Thanks. Get some sleep now, Sam. Thanks for joining us.
Oh yeah, we've definitely got a bit after this.
And Gary, as always, thanks for joining us. Any final words, or you're happy to leave it there?
Yeah, well, I guess I'll just say a couple of things real quick. Kirk, it was a good time having you on, chatting with you about Arsenal. So, we'll hopefully see you again. I guess I'm looking forward to hopefully, a much improvement in our midfield. Once I see that, then I know, things are moving in the right directions. Trending upwards, yes. Little changes. So little changes, right? Just little changes each week.
Yeah.
I want to see little changes, and hopefully, we have a good game. I think we got the players, so we'll see if we get it done. Come on, you Gunners.
All right, come on, you guys. Up the Arsenal. Let's get a win. North London Derby. Let's do this. We're out of here. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Come on, you Gunners.
Drop a like before you get out of here, and have a good sleep, Sam. Thanks.
See you, Sam. See you guys. Up the gun.